like and subscribe. Now, what's something creepy that has happened to you that you still occasionally think about to this day? When my friend and I were 17, we used to work in a Pizza Hut together. We were closing up one weekend, so it was about 11 p.m. by the time we shut down and were ready to lock up. When we walked out to her car, there was an old lady sitting in her front passenger seat. My friend opened the driver door and asked the old lady before getting in, "Can I help you?" The old lady said, "I just need a ride home." So we tell her that we just have to go back inside and call our moms to tell her we'll be late. We go back inside the store and lock the door and call the police. Within 10 minutes the police are there arresting her. Turns out it was actually a 47-year-old man dressed up as an old lady. They found drugs and a knife on his body. When I was around 13 over 14, I was home alone, upstairs, when I heard somebody busting open the kitchen door yelling, "Fire, fire, get out." I didn't smell anything, nor did I think that there was that could ignite a fire. I had ordered takeout and all the things that could set a fire were off, so I decided not to get out and called 911 explaining everything. The police came and found muddy footprint in the kitchen, along with the kitchen door busted. 2 days after I was assaulted by a man. Someone left flowers on my doorstep without a note. If it was him, he knows where I live. I was like 13 at the time and I was on a trip to DC. We had stopped and I went into the public bathroom. It was empty and I went to the urinal at the complete end of the room. Then, halfway through my piss, this big middle-aged guy who looked like he just butchered a group of children walks in and goes to the urinals. There was about a dozen urinals open besides mine, and this dude chooses the one a few over from me. He then glances over at me a few times and then promptly switches over to the stall right next to me. He skipped over 2 whole urinals just to get the one next to me. Thankfully I finished right as he did this, and I sped right the F out to there. I didn't even wash my hands. Pretty sure that was the closest I've ever been to being molested. What paranormal / creepy events have you experienced? Security guard here. When I work alone, I always hear doors slamming in areas where I can clearly see there is nobody there. Motion sensor lights kick on their own, and something likes to play with the radio volume, which is controlled from a little gear closet almost nobody has access to. You get used to it. I'd be saying frick that crap so quickly. I respect you guys so much for doing those jobs. You've been kidnapped by aliens. The aliens tell you that if you can explain the history of your world in a quick summarized version, they will bring you back. What do you tell them? I could tell them absolutely anything. It's not like they are checking my answers a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Nothing. I want to go to their planet. Literally, I'm keeping quiet. Take me wherever y'all are going. Who says you get to go to their planet? Maybe you're just a mid-flight snack. Oh, you aliens know how to eat me out so good. What are you doing to me, step alien? Frick, kill, repeat. Is that a necrophiliac porn parody of that one Tom Cruise movie? No, the Tom Cruise movie is a parody of what he's describing. First, the earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came. But they got too big and fat, so they all died, and they turned into oil. And then the Arabs came and they bought Mercedes-Benzes, and Prince Charles started wearing all of Lady Di's clothes. I couldn't believe it. He took her best summer dress out of the closet and put it on. People who talk in their sleep or have experience with people who talk in their sleep. What is the most disturbing thing you have heard / said while sleeping? My husband has a lot of gems. This is my favorite one. Him, mumbles something. Me, what was that? Him, are you kidding? Everyone knows. Me, everyone knows what? Him, about the amusement parks. Me, what about the amusement parks? Him, everyone knows what they're doing to the clowns. Me, what are they doing to the clowns? Him, I just want justice. Ekans, is snake spelled backwards. Only thing she muttered the whole night. Don't tell her about muck. My 6-year-old daughter doesn't talk, but she has always laughed in her sleep. Something about it being pitch dark and then hear a little kid's laugh wake you up from the next room. What makes it worse is she sleeps with her eyes open. What's the worst way you've been embarrassed by a child? My wife was out with my 2-year daughter who pointed at a lady wearing a traditional Indian dress and stated, "Pisshead." The lady probably heard "pisshead," but what daughter was trying to pronounce was "princess." I don't remember this story, but my mom tells it all the time. When I was 5, my mom took me into the stall in the women's restroom because she had to go. She had been in there a while and the bathroom had been crowded, so she asked me, "Can you take a look and see if there is a big line out there?" I excitedly screamed, "A lion," and flung the stall door open. There was a big line. Took my 4-year-old swimming. At the completion I took him to the men's locker and getting into dry clothes. Amidst dressing he says loud enough for all to hear, "I love your pee-pee, Dad." My dad took me swimming when I was little and I saw his jockstrap. I asked him what was it for. He replied, "It's to hold the family jewels." For years I thought he was carrying mom's jewelry around in that thing. College professors have read it. What's your "I'm surprised you made it out of high school" story? In the final year of high school I had to intervene during a practical exam when a student attempted to heat a plastic petri dish of water using the blue flame of a Bunsen burner. That student is a PE teacher now. I once got an exam essay that mentioned how much Mandela hated the Jews. After scratching my head for a bit and wondering if I'd missed some obvious signs of his anti-Semitism, I realized she meant Mengele, as in Joseph Mengele, the Nazi angel of death. Hard to think of a worse person she could have confused him for. Is this the Mandela effect? Not a college professor, but I worked in my university's writing center for a while. I had a girl come in with a research paper bibliography that listed my mom as a source several times. When I pressed, she told me her mom looked up everything and sent it to her and she just put it in the paper. She told me she had always done it that way. Due to moan when shitting or pissing in a public toilet. Why? It adds talk. I'm in bed and quietly trying to moan to see if it feels similar to pushing out a turd really hard. To assert dominance. Sometimes when I poop I come. Adi ol Shama, welcome to the club. What's a recurring dream or nightmare you have? I wouldn't say the dream is reoccurring, but in dreams my teeth fall out or dissolve or crumble a lot. Apparently it's due to a fear of getting old. I'm in Hawaii partying and all of a sudden I get stabbed. What are you going to do? Stab me in my dream Hawaii? Man who was stabbed in his dream Hawaii. What's a commercial that is so awful, it works the opposite on you and you'd never buy their product? Any and/or mobile game ads that looks nothing like the game itself, and half the time have very obviously and over-the-top sexual character designs, but it must be working on someone cause they're everywhere. I'm always amazed at the ones the mobile game ads that rip off from other things. There's a zombie one of the effing billion of them anyway, that has a lady running from a horde of zombies, at the front of which is a boomer from Left 4 Dead, not even trying to change it. That is straight up a boomer. You owned a car for 4 years, you named it Brad, and then you totaled him. Every ad that interrupts a YouTube video